Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel where today we are taking a look at all the books that I did not finish in the month of February. So I have mentioned before on my channel, but February was a weird reading month for me, and I ended up DNFing a total of 5 books, which is a little bit high, but it happens sometimes. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. So the very first thing that I DNF'd is Forbidden Quest by Alaina Stanford. And the basic premise of this is that there is a group of 4 people who enroll in this experiment, and they get put into like a group hypnosis. And in that hypnosis session, they end up going on what is basically a D&D quest together. And the story goes from there. So this book was self-published in 2012, I believe, and it was obvious to me that it was self-published and specifically self-published in that time frame because it needed so much help. There was no copy editing done at all. So all of the grammar mistakes, like literally, you guys, there were words missing. There were words missing. There was misspelled words. There was punctuation missing. There was misused punctuation. There was just all kinds of stuff that was just bad. And that's just the copy editing. That's not even touching the content, but the content was a hot mess as well. And so I really wasn't enjoying this, but I was enjoying texting back and forth with one of my friends, just kind of poking fun at how bad it was, until I got to page 26, and then there was some racist remarks, at which point I said, no longer fun, and I DNF'd it. After that, the next one that I DNF'd is Death, Taxes, and a French Manicure by Diane Kelly, and this is the first book in the Tara Holloway series, which is an adult cozy mystery series. So Tara is an IRS agent who kind of does investigations into like fraud and things, and I believe somebody dies, there's a dead body, which would make sense because there's frequently dead bodies in cozy mysteries. And I guess the story goes from there. I'm not entirely certain because I DNF'd this at page 2 and just kind of let all the details go. But basically, the author clearly had in mind a very specific audience when writing this, because she tried to make her main character very sassy. And it was sassy in a way that very much grated on my nerves. I had problems from the very first paragraph, to be honest. And then our main character introduced her partner, who happens to be Black, and she did so in a way that just didn't work for me. I mean, it was racist. So at that point, I was like, again, I don't need racist nonsense. I'm going to let it go. And so I DNF'd it at page 2. Now, this book, I will just make a note, actually I have moved this book with me 3 different times. I'm a little bit annoyed. I know that like I'm going to let it go now, so it's not going to go through yet another move with me, but like I had been holding on to this for so long hoping that it would be good, and I DNF'd it on page 2. My disappointment knows no bounds. The next book that I DNF'd was Unremembered by Jessica Brody. So this is a young adult science fiction trilogy, but our main character is Violet, and she is the sole survivor of an airplane crash, and she is suffering from total amnesia. And then she's in the hospital, then she's with a foster family, and a mysterious boy turns up and starts like telling her all kinds of things, and she kind of has to decide whether to believe him or not, and the story goes from there. This was a hot mess. So here's the thing. Her total amnesia wasn't actually total, but it was very, very inconsistent. It honestly felt like the author didn't really think through what she was actually writing into this story. And so it didn't work. And then basically everything about the adult world, like the hospital and the processes at the hospital, and the choice to put her into a foster home, and then just generally the adults themselves, none of it made sense. Like, it was so mind-boggling to me. I was sitting there going, but Why would you do that? Why? And so I finally gave up just past the 50-page mark because I just couldn't do it anymore. Now, the funny thing is, this is supposed to be a reread. This was a reread. I had read this before and liked it. I don't know why. But it was a reread so that I could get to book 2, which happened to be on my physical TBR shelf. But since I DNF'd this is getting unhauled, and also book 2 is coming off of my physical TBR shelf as well. And then next is Life in the Stupidverse by Tom Tomorrow. And this is a collection of political satire comics. Now, this DNF is 100% on me because, guys, look at this cover. What does it say to you? I'm sure it says to you exactly what it is, which is a bunch of satire comics, political satire comics about Trump, which I looked at it and I'm like, well, but maybe it's not all about Trump, which was just not smart, right? I just had a moment. And I got into it and I made it 10 pages in before I was just like, no, this is all about Trump. And honestly, this is going to be a rehash of his presidency. And I'm really not in a place where I want to do that. And so I went ahead and DNF'd it. Now, if you do like political satire comics, I thought that I'm not good. I'm not a connoisseur of political satire comics, but they seem to be pretty good. So if that's your thing, this is nothing against the quality and really was just a personal problem. And then the last thing is Black Mage by Daniel Barnes and DJ Kirkland. And this was a graphic novel about a young man by the name of Tom Token, and he is a black mage. And he has been invited to study magic at a historically all-white school. And he gets there, and it's very clear that hinky things are happening, and he needs to get to the bottom of it very quickly. So I DNF'd this around page 50, which was about a third of the way through. And the thing is, the story of this is very simplistic, very predictable. I stopped at page 50, but I can pretty much tell you what the rest of the story is going to be. And then it added to that, everything was extremely in your face. I mean, our main character is named Tom Token. He has a pet crow by the name of Jim. All of the robes at the school are basically KKK robes. I mean, it's very in your face. And I knew to expect that because I had read some reviews that really stressed how in your face it was. But I didn't take into account that it was going to be a super simplistic kind of storyline, and those two things together meant that I just did not enjoy this. And furthermore, I don't even know who to recommend this to because the storyline is so simplistic that if you hand it off to like adults or older kids, they're going to look at you and just be like, why are you giving me this kid's book? Like, it's so predictable. But you can't give it to younger kids because of the content matter of it. Like, I don't understand who this is supposed to be for. But yeah, overall, I just really did not enjoy my time with this. And so I went ahead and DNF'd this. But that is it, you guys. Please let me know down below if you have actually read any of these. Did you finish them? Or not? Do you DNF at all? Let me know down below. But that is all I have. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until next time, have happy reading, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.